Well, a high number of complaints to our 7 on Your Side office about a Little Rock landlord have led Jason Peterson to take a look at how he does business. Jason will share what he discovered over the past month tonight at 10, but right now you get a preview.
Damon Crump says that last month when his disabled fiancée was about to lose her Medicaid waiver, they and their newborn son needed a new place to live fast. On June 25th, he paid $800, a security deposit and first month's rent, to live in this North Little Rock home. It's a decision he regrets.
We got in this house thinking that he was going to, fix everything that needed to be fixed, but he didn't.
I've got some concerns from some of your tenants. Can I ask you about them? Crump's new landlord is Imran Bora. Bora owns over 200 properties in Little Rock and North Little Rock, so he's a lot of people's landlord. After Crump had the water turned on inside his rent house, he discovered that the faucet and pipes underneath the kitchen sink leak. It's been almost a month, and Bora hasn't fixed it. And Crump says he can't use the bathroom either because the floor is unstable.
If he does any repairs, the repairs are very minimal. It's just barely enough to even meet the code standards.
And stories similar to that of Damon Crump have been repeated to us over and over, and we'll share more of them tonight on Nightside, and we'll tell you more about Imran Bora.
Well, this week, a judge has warned a Little Rock landlord to improve the condition of his properties or risk jail time. Imran Bora blames a bad economy, bad renters, bad neighborhoods. But others say the real problem is Bora is a bad landlord. Here's 7 on Your Side's Jason Peterson.
I've got some concerns from some of your tenants. Can I ask you about them? Imran Bora may be one of the best-known landlords in Pulaski County, but for all the wrong reasons. Just ask his tenants.
That's all he wants is your money.
Joanne Hunt lives with her son and 2 granddaughters in an Imran Bora property. Bora has been cited multiple times for failing to make repairs to the home.
But it ain't doing no good because they ain't charging them nothing but $250, and then they started giving him more and more time. You got to really put your foot down with that man because he ain't going to do nothing.
Bora is a regular in court. Over the past 15 years, he's received hundreds of citations and been fined tens of thousands of dollars. But code enforcement officers have seen little change in his behavior.
He's the premier. We have a few that are not really trying that hard, but he is probably the worst. He just totally ignores us.
Robert says about a year ago he cited Bora for failing to make repairs to this house. Last month, Bora collected $800 from Damon Crump so that he could move into this house with his disabled fiancée and their newborn son.
I can't live here because I can't use my kitchen or I can't use my bathroom, and them the main 2 parts of the house that we use.
The kitchen sink leaks terribly, both at the faucet and down below. It's been nearly a month, and Bora has yet to make the necessary repairs. But at least this Bora property has running water.
No showers, no toilets, no kitchen sink, no plumbing, period. Here's the kitchen sink right here.
Frank England says he paid his rent and moved from California into this home after Imran Bora assured him that repairs would be made and the home would be ready.
He told me he'll fix it. He hasn't fixed it. He asked me to fix it. I got to let the hot water heater fill up with the water hose there. Drain the hot water heater. This is how my wife washes the dishes.
Do you know you have tenants without running water? You're running, but the water in some of your properties aren't running. Tax records show Bora owns over 200 properties in central Arkansas, most of them just north of the Arkansas River or just south of Interstate 630. Right now, he has tenants living in this home despite the lack of a hot water heater and electrical problems that code enforcement officers consider dangerous. The same is true of this home. Inspectors discovered life safety issues, but Bora has the home rented anyway. Does it surprise you the city's after him as a landlord?
No, we don't. No, it don't.
Robert says many of the people who rent from Bora have poor credit and are desperate when they agree to move into his dilapidated properties. Then, once they do, they're stuck.
It really pressures them into just signing a contract. And then once the contract is signed, if there's a problem, will you fix it? Or he won't even talk to him.
He don't do what he say he gonna do.
It's crazy, but we just don't have nowhere else to go.
No comment? Last month, even Bora's longtime attorney, Ed Adcock, reached his limit, telling the court that he no longer felt comfortable representing Mr. Bora. On Thursday, a judge gave Bora 1 week to hire a new attorney so that he can defend himself against charges that he has been renting 2 Little Rock homes that the court had determined were too dangerous to occupy. Jason Peterson, Channel 7 News.
Last Friday, we heard from several tenants with complaints against a Little Rock landlord. Well, since then, we have heard from more. You may be surprised just how far back his complaint history goes. Here's 7 on your sides, Jason Peterson.
Lynette Williams only rented from Imran Bora for 1 month this spring. She says her time in this home cost her plenty, though, starting with the $700 he charged for a security deposit and first month's rent. She says Bora promised to fix a broken window and change the locks, but he never did.
My house got broken into and basically everything I owned was stolen.
Then, near the end of her first month, she came home and found that what she had left was gone.
I called him on the phone and he was like, "Oh, well, I just took your stuff to the dumpster." And he hung up.
Well, how much stuff? What did he take?
I had 3 bedroom sets, living room set, dining room set, my food, clothes.
All of it gone?
All of it gone.
Without an eviction notice or anything?
No.
The first court action we can find taken against Imran Bora for failing to maintain his properties dates back more than a quarter century to early 1985. His most recent citation for this property was October of last year.
Basically, he needs to be dealt with and stop renting these houses until he know they up to date. Because he have a lot of them.
Now, these documents represent the complaints against Bora in Little Rock over the past 5 years alone. Bora will be back in Little Rock Court Thursday to face some more. Jason Peterson, Channel 7 News.
1 week ago, Little Rock landlord Imran Bora was ordered to find a new attorney. Turns out his new attorney is his old one. Here's 7 on your sides, Jason Peterson.
Imran Bora writes a check out for $4,805, the price he is paying for failing to maintain his rental properties.
Mr. Bora is in a very tough economic market right now for his business. He fell behind in getting some repairs done.
Complaints about Bora-owned rental properties date back more than 25 years. Bora received several new citations at court on Thursday. Since last week, the life safety issues in occupied homes at number 2 Rugby Street and 2403 South Pine Street have been fixed. And lawns have been mowed and lots have been cleaned up at more than a dozen other Bora properties. But not in time to avoid close to $5,000 in fines and court costs. Mr. Bora, you just spent
not going to make a statement.
You just spent thousands of dollars. Wouldn't it be easier to manage your properties right the first time? Adcock, who quit as Bora's attorney less than a month ago, is back on board, believing his client is serious about doing better.
I believe that Mr. Bora will make a consistent and concerted effort at this point to fix these properties, and that's where we are.
Now, in explaining why he is once again representing Mr. Bora, Adcock told the court that apparently he is the only lawyer in town dumb enough to do it. If it was an attempt at humor, no one laughed, including Mr. Bora, who was standing right next to him.
12 days ago, we introduced you to 4 unhappy tenants who all had one thing in common, the same landlord. We revisited those properties today to see what, if any, improvements have been made. 7 on your sides, Jason Peterson joins us to tell us what he found. Jason.
Well, Christina, one of the homes is now vacant. As far as the other 3, 2 of the tenants are angry. The other one is afraid. Joanne Hunt says that for the past 5 years she has paid her landlord, Imran Bora, $400 a month without fail. But this week, instead of taking her money, he gave her an eviction notice.
He said, "You really low-graded me on the TV." And I said, "I only told the truth."
Hunt's not your typical renter. She's renting to own and takes very good care of her home.
He wrong. I mean, I'm buying this. I haven't done anything to him wrong for him to try to really put me up out of here. Because he wrong.
The tenant at this home told us he was unable to use the kitchen sink or the bathroom. The home's for rent again. We don't know why they left or if repairs were made. The ladies who live here say Mr. Bora's maintenance man has been by a couple of times, but that there is work left to do. And Frank England told us that Mr. Bora has threatened to evict him if he complains to Channel 7 again about his lack of running water.
He don't care about nobody's living situation or nothing else. It's all about the money.
Now, late this afternoon, we reached Mr. Bora's attorney, Ed Adcock, and Mr. Adcock assures us that Ms. Hunt will not be evicted and that Mr. England and his family will have running water by the end of this week.